people on the way. Another one says there are 4 million people on the way. There were nowhere near 500,000 people there. And the people who were storming the Capitol are not 10 feet tall. So you don't want to underestimate at all the threat. And as John Avlon said in the lead-in, you need to deal with the immediate term with truth-telling and accountability, and mobilize law enforcement to address the urgent violent threat. But at the same time, we know at Search for Common Ground, over nearly 40 years of dealing with violent conflict, that oftentimes accountability is not achieved to the satisfaction of all, and that law enforcement, especially unreformed law enforcement in this country, is unable to deal with the drivers of extremism. So you also have to deal with the much larger number of people who are not committed to violence, who are now convinced in this country that an election was stolen, and a number of other demonstrable falsehoods. And in order to address those insecurities and grievances that inform thinking and the actions of those people, this is why Cynthia's work is so important. You have to understand how extremist groups prey on those insecurities and recruit for them, and you have to deal with those grievances and insecurities in order to deplete their ranks, while providing the unified law enforcement front to address those who are committed to violence.
Mm. So Cynthia, let's talk about that, the dealing with the grievances, because, America and this new administration are faced with this kind of what seemed to be like a new momentum of a very old problem, racism and hate. So how do you see America and this administration, trying to address those grievances, identifying the grievances that seem to be at the core here?
Well, there are a couple different things that have to happen. I mean, one of these is to recognize that when we're talking about a sense of precarity or insecurity that people are feeling, that rests also on a foundation of entitlement. And so you're not seeing people who are actually economically disenfranchised in large numbers, storming the Capitol. What we see here are people who feel like something is being taken away from them and given to people who don't deserve it. And that's true of white supremacists who feel that way about white civilization and a majority white country. It's true of people who feel the Second Amendment rights are being restricted, and it's true of people who feel the election is stolen.
Can I ask
so
you
the stolen,
on that?
Sure.
If so that might be the complaint. That's what we hear, but it's not right. I mean, it's not even correct.
See, see, that's the kind of thing I've been talking about. I said it before. I said this. Okay, well, once again, I already talked about this before, and those of you who have been watching my channel know that I've already touched on this, but I don't have a problem with touching on it a little bit more. Look, let's keep it real. Anybody, because of not only the institution of slavery, but also the institution of entitlement, and also our inability, and our black people, our defeatist attitude towards a society, this society at large, has culminated in all of this. It's said that all of this is going to be fine. Those people were praying. They showed a clip earlier. Those people were praying to Jesus Christ. Now they wasn't praying to the real Jesus Christ. They was praying to some evil Jesus Christ that they made up. And see, that's why I have a problem with religion, because the universe didn't make religion. We did. The universe got sets of laws don't hinge on religion. It don't hinge on your assessment of karma, what you think is karma. No, she don't do that. That's not how it works. The universe is based in everything and in everyone, and it starts right here, right? So your consciousness will tell you whether the universe always gives a warning. And that warning or that conversation is always in here. Christ, they misunderstood Christ. Christ said, I stand here, yea, I stand at the door and knock. Right? He said, I stand at the door and knock. Where's that? What's he knocking on? He's knocking on this door. Right here. You see what I'm saying? And so in this second ye shall reap. What you just saw, there's going to be a reckoning for all that. And at the same time, what you saw is the reckoning for our complacency, right? Our apathy. That's what you're seeing now. That's the price you have to pay, right? Or the price you pay for unleashing hate, unleashing it so it could work for your cause. But as you could, they also showed a clip. A cop was like, "Oh, all right, you come on, guys, stop doing it." You know what I mean? And they're like, "You know what I mean? We're already in. You're an afterthought." And see, once a lot of the time, what happens is people is like, "Well, I didn't know," or I didn't incite that. But see, here's the problem with that. When you think that you're talking to a certain segment that you're just running your mouth to, there's another segment that's taking you seriously. There's another segment that's saying, you know what? Yeah, I do think that, what's mine is being taken. Or that they got a choice now. That they're equal to me now. That I can no longer claim supremacy. I can no longer call the shots. Because it's not that they don't believe that the election was stolen. They don't believe that garbage. What they believe is that what they think is theirs, they think that's being taken away because of the demographics, because of the change. As I said in one of my other videos, you know what I mean? My sister is seeing a brother, or my daughter, you know what I mean? Or my son likes black women. You know what I mean? And see, that intermingling is like open now. In the 50s and 40s, man, in the 50s and 40s, especially down south, you'd get hung for that shit, right? You see what I'm saying? And so that's what they're thinking is being stolen from. They could give a Biden's a white man. You know what I'm saying? And Kamala Harris, come on, she's in the upper class from the upper class from her people, and she almost looked white. So come on, they don't believe none of that. Now in Obama's case, yeah, now that they was hot about that, and see they couldn't do anything then because there was too many people that was storming the gates when that brother got elected. You know what I'm saying? Sure, they had some security, but that's the fact of all of the mingling of the people were out there. This time, everybody voted and was like, okay, we're good. And then this came out, and Trump was like, you know what? You know what I'm saying? It's now or never. Because like I told you in the other video, and I'm telling you now, one, it's going to take 12 years or more to get this all right for them to be mostly died out. That what you just saw on the TV. What you see on TV. Right? But the next part of it is that the demographics just in 2 years, it's going to make it impossible for them to do anything that we don't want to happen. And that's what you're seeing. That's the problem. You know what I mean? And it's all about racism. And I'm talking about the 7 million or so that voted for Trump. They just don't want you to know they are racist. Or they don't want you to label them as a racist. Or the experts don't want you to be careful that you call all these people racist. Hell with them mugs. I'm going to give it to you straight. They ain't nothing but a damn racist. I was seeing a girl, and she was a straight out Trump supporter. And I could hear it in her voice. We made love one time, and I got off. Because I was like, I can't do this. Something was in me was like, no, I'm kowtowing to that. And just before, after I kicked that to the curb, this happened. You know what I mean? So that's the universe warning me that, hey, you can't mingle with that. That can't be mingled with. That can't be reasoned with. That can't be bargained with. Because they're going to always hold that. The way that girl was talking, she said, well, I didn't say nothing because I didn't want to, it's a white girl. I didn't want that to be, get in between us. But it's going to. any relationship now, because of the siege, is going to get in between your relationship. And see, this is what Christ said again, since this is a Christian country. I'll be starting to make quotes from Zen, but for right now, since that's what they